How's it going, everyone? We are coming up on the release of Red Dead Redemption on the PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch, and you know what? It pains me to say just Red Dead Redemption and not Red Dead Redemption Remastered, because that's what this release should be, but by all accounts, it is looking like this is gonna be a straight port, and I want to talk about everything you should know about Red Dead Redemption before you spend $50 on it. Now, there's not a ton to go over. We kind of know what to expect. I'll go over the press release that Rockstar put out, but look, I don't want to call anybody that spends $50 on this port of Red Dead Redemption and Undead Nightmare a clown, because guess what? Your boy has spent a ton of money on very, very stupid things. So, like, for me to say anybody that buys this is a clown, I don't think that would be fair. I do think this $50 price point is absolutely egregious, given the fact that it looks like it's going to be a straight port of the 2010 Red Dead Redemption game. I really hope I'm wrong, but the thing is, if this game featured improved resolution, if this game featured 60 frames per second, if this game featured improved textures, if this game featured any of those things, if you were a promoter, if you were at the helm of the marketing direction of this game, you would throw out a press release and you would not mention any of those things. That already right there should be an immediate red flag that this is a slap together, thrown together port of Red Dead Redemption onto PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. I will offer you this. I do think it's kind of cool that it's coming out on the Nintendo Switch, like being able to play RDR1 on the go. I guess that's kind of cool. Like, if we are going to take any kind of solace from this announcement of Red Dead Redemption, you know, this port, I guess we could talk about the Switch release being kind of cool. Now, this port is not even being done by Rockstar directly. It's actually being done by Double 11 along with Rockstar San Diego, and Double 11 is absolutely at the helm of this release. Double 11 in the past has worked as kind of a support studio for a lot of other games. They have worked on games such as RimWorld, Rust. They worked alongside Sumo Digital for Crackdown 3. They are very much more so a support studio from what you can tell over their last few years of work. They've worked on some mobile titles as well. It's obvious that they aren't putting that much emphasis into this release. Also because, yo, they do not announce big releases like 10 days ahead of release. Generally speaking, that doesn't happen, and in the case of Red Dead Redemption, you're seeing something very similar to what actually happened with the Grand Theft Auto trilogy, and that's what made me skeptical about the GTA trilogy when it came out, because it all came together a bit too quickly. There were rumblings of GTA trilogy ultimately happening, but the way it was announced, the fact it released so quickly after its announcement, is giving me very much vibes of what's going on with Red Dead, and we all know what happened with the GTA trilogy. So that's just my own, you know, diatribe about everything going on. Let's talk about Rockstar's official statement. Experience the epic Western adventure Red Dead Redemption and its groundbreaking zombie horror companion Undead Nightmare as both games come to Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4. So you get the base Red Dead Redemption game, which was released in 2010, and you get the zombie expansion Undead Nightmare. Undead Nightmare was this wacky extra content that was actually pretty good. You know, you're talking about adding zombies into a Western game, so obviously it was very zany, very off the wall, but it was a pretty good extra piece of content, and I think it was priced at $29.99 initially, so obviously RDR1 was priced at $60. So if you want to say you're getting value because of the 2010 prices was $60 and $30, and now you're paying $50, I guess if we're gonna clutch at some straws here, I guess you could say that. It is being done by Double 11 Studios, and they note that it's a new conversion. They don't say it's a remaster, it's a new conversion by Double 11 for the Switch and PlayStation 4 version, bringing the two classic experience together for both new players and original fans to enjoy across modern consoles, and what they say is including backwards compatibility with the PlayStation 5. They don't mention anything enhanced for PlayStation 5. They don't mention 60 FPS on PlayStation 5. You gotta read between the lines here, and you can't hope for things like improved frame rate, improved textures, improved resolution. If that happens, I will be incredibly surprised, and I will be incredibly happy as well. Let's not get it twisted. But the fact they just say it's based on backwards compatibility leads me to believe there's not going to be any enhancements. One of the most critically acclaimed games of all time with over 170 Game of the Year awards, and that is absolutely true. If you look at Red Dead Redemption's Metacritic score, it's a 95 for a reason. The game is tremendous. It tells the story of John Marston, who was a character in Red Dead Redemption 2, an integral character of Red Dead Redemption 2, but Red Dead Redemption 1 is obviously the follow-up to the story of RDR 2. So, you know, RDR 2 is a prequel. You guys get the idea. Red Dead Redemption Redemption tells the story of former outlaw John Marston as he journeys across the sprawling expanses of the American West and Mexico to track down the last remaining members of the notorious Vanderlyn gang in a bid to save his family, relive or experience for the first time the events immediately following the epic tale of honor and loyalty in the 2018 blockbuster Red Dead Redemption 2 as Marston hunts down his former friends and outlaws. If you played RDR 2, these names will be familiar to you: Bill Williamson, Javier Escuela, and his former gang leader, Dutch Vanderlyn, obviously Dutch, a very integral part of Red Dead Redemption 2 as the era of the Cowboys come to an end. Red Dead Redemption on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4 includes Undead Nightmare, the hallowed story expansion that reimagined the world of RDR as Marston figures to survive a relentless zombie horde and searches for a cure and a spooky supernatural twist on the Western genre. In addition to both classic single-player experiences, you've got new language support simplified in traditional Chinese, Korean, Polish, Brazilian, Portuguese, Russian, and Latin American Spanish. The digital release will be happening on August 17th, and it will be $49.99. Now, there will be a physical release. That'll be happening in a couple of months, and it will be, we have no price point for the physical release. I imagine it'll be $49.99 as well, but that'll be happening on October the 13th. So that is everything we know about RDR Remastered. They really kept the information sparse as far as this is concerned, and when they do that, again, I am very, very skeptical on what's actually going down with this release. It's only on PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. You would have to imagine that Rockstar is being Rockstar, and they're staggering the release on other platforms, mainly PC. I don't think the Xbox release is going to be happening because the Xbox already has RDR1 available in backwards compatibility, and the fact that they aren't doing another release on Xbox, excuse me, that leads credence to the thought of this being a direct port as well, with very, very minor changes, if any at all, given that you could have easily done some bells and whistles and done another re-release on Xbox, and it would have sold very, very well, and you would have generated a ton more revenue. But the fact they're not even doing that is a very big head-scratcher. Who knows if this is because, and I highly, highly, exceedingly doubt this is the case, if there's like a Red Dead Redemption remake in development, like we are in the era of remakes, and we saw like recently, like Atlas dropped Persona 3 Portable on PC and all these other platforms, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and everybody was like, why is it Persona 3 Portable? Well, they are ultimately remaking Persona 3, and I guess the idea was we don't want to give them the big P3 FES or whatever. That's one thing, but that is exceedingly wishful thinking, and I would put the percentages of that at like sub 2%. So like, I just throw that out as something to consider. But yeah, I would say do not spend $50 on this. Look, you're talking about somebody that legitimately thinks RDR1 is one of the greatest video games of all time. If this is 30 frames per second, which the Xbox release is still 30 frames per second, and the fact that it's not being re-released on Xbox leads me to believe that it's going to be 30 frames per second. And again, they don't mention even the PS5 version having 60 FPS, and given that the release is 10 days away, that is already final. Like, whether it's 30 or 60 FPS, they already well know that, and the fact it isn't stated, you should assume it's going to be 30 frames per second. The fact it's $49.99 leads me to say, wait for a sale on this one. Wait for this to get down to $20 to $30 at most, because that's really what you should be paying if it ends up being what most assume it to be. And I don't think you're going to have to wait that long for a discount. Yes, generally speaking, Rockstar games hold up in price, but GTA Trilogy went on sale very quickly after its release. Maybe not that quickly in compared to like Ubisoft games, but generally speaking for Rockstar games, it went on sale fairly quickly. And I would imagine something similar with RDR. And guess what? There's 8 billion games coming out. You really want to drop $50 on a port of a 2010 game, as good as it is, before like Armored Core comes out, before, if you have an Xbox, Starfield comes out, or PC, before Starfield comes out? Come on, guys. You save that $50, wait for it to be in the bargain bin, buy it then. That's my 2 cents, and that's what I wanted to cover. I know generally speaking we go more in depth and it's less of a rant in these kinds of videos, but come on, man, don't be spending $50 on this. That's my opinion. Again, I've spent money on clown stuff before, and it's very goofy. You know, people are spending $65 for high quality pieces of plastic for Spider-Man, so you know, it's your money, do whatever the hell you want with it. But for me, I would say wait on a sale for this one. That's gonna do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.